Hey guys, welcome back to the layout. Today I've got another layout update for you. As you can see, my DCC and sound decoder finally came in for this bad boy. And it's running great. I'm just going to go ahead and mute that as I talk. So, layout update number 12. As you can see, DCC sound decoder is running great in the Bachmann 460. You can also notice I've got some soup cans back on the layout. So that is because I had that kink due to the rail joint right here in my curve. And what had happened is the solder had cracked and it had really started to kink and cause problems. Only with my steam engine, just because it's the most unforgiving locomotive I had. None of my cars or anything, or my diesel locomotives derailed, but all the time the steamer would jump the track, the leading truck. The first axle would go through and it would be okay, but then the second axle would go through, and once it hit the kink, it would push the first axle up and jump the track. So I did this last night, and what happened was I didn't have any more flex track, because when I bought all the track for my layout, I bought a 25 piece box. So that's 3 feet, 25 pieces of 3 feet flex track. So 75 feet of track. And all I have left are those little snippets over there. So not too much. I didn't have enough to replace it properly without just having more kinks along the curve, which I didn't want. So what I ended up doing is actually ripping up this industry track. There's a rail joint here, and it's a 3-foot section all the way back to the switch. So I ripped that up and I cut that to length, having the rail joiners here, which is not only on flat ground, but it's not completely straight, but it's pretty straight. And you can see I also pushed the curve out just a little bit because it used to butt up against this cork sheet. So it's a little bit less tight, and just overall much better. Now, I was pretty desperate last night because I wanted everything to run perfect, as Kris is coming tomorrow morning to run trains for a couple hours. And so there is some hot glue here. There is also some white glue drying. But I just wanted to hot glue it down to make sure that the derailing issue was resolved, which it is, and it's been doing laps all day without any issue. Though the one issue with the steamer I found is if I'm running it in reverse pulling cars, sometimes it loses traction at the beginning of the incline at the bottom, coming out of the bottom reversing loop right here, and sometimes it'll just spin the wheels, and sometimes it'll be okay, but it will decouple the cars. It's kind of random, and I hate that inconsistency, but that is only when it is in reverse. You can push cars up forwards, but if it is doing laps in reverse, it will tend to either slip or decouple. I don't have any other issues with any of my cars or my diesel locomotives, and it still is using the Bachmann Easy Mate couplers, I believe they're called. So I'm gonna switch those out for KDs, and I'm going to clean the track down there. But I suspect that it may be that the bottom incline had broken, and so it's a little sharper than it should. I'm gonna try to resolve it, but I'm not gonna put too much effort into it, just because if it requires more work and everything else works, I will just simply not run the steamer in reverse around the loop. It will go all day in forward, and it works great in reverse, switching the industries, just not coming out from under there. So that's fine. A little project for me to keep on the radar. Other than that, you'll see I've got my tablet here because I have JMRI all set up. I got my PR4 all hooked up, so it is hooked up to my LocoNet, and I have just a standalone computer and a wireless router that I had sitting around there. And that way, when people come over to run trains, I don't have to have them connect to my personal network. But I have this set up to my programming track because the PR4 standalone programmer is a little more powerful, and I have a lot less issues with my TCS decoders and the ESC lock sound decoders that Kris has me configuring than my DCS 100. I found I got kind of inconsistent CV readings. I would get a correct reading and then I wouldn't, and then I would and wouldn't, and it would kind of go back and forth. But with the PR4 standalone, I have consistent readings, and I've been saving profiles for all the trains as a benchmark to use in the future. So I think what I may do, because I still like having the TCS, the DCS programming track, I may have another switch here to go between the PR4 and the DCS programmer. This is what is hooked up to my track right now. Down is live, so you can use it as a siding, drive the train in. Middle is off, and then up is programming. It's been working great. I've been using it for all the locomotives, and I'm really happy with it. That's pretty much it, guys. Once I ran to the store and I got some more flex track, I was able to replace that, so that's just gluing down. I have got the cork under it so that I can still run trains. And up there, because I moved the switches over, I did move that one track as well. So that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with all of the changes so far. I'm really happy that this worked out well. That kink bothered me visually for quite a while, but to finally have it start causing derailing issues was the last straw, and I don't regret switching it out, even though I was late at night and I had to pillage my own layout for parts, because in the end everything happened, and I did buy an extra piece of flex track just in case I have any further problems. That's about it. Kris is coming over tomorrow morning to run some trains, so he's going to bring some of his locomotives and rolling stock to try out. That's going to be some great videos, so keep an eye open. They will likely be posted to one or the other of our channels. I'm not sure how we're going to split that up yet, but keep an eye open on his channel and on my channel for those. And that's about it, guys. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your bacon.